Live from the Jersey Shore to the world. Get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Take the show wherever you go. Download the free Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. 7:08 Tuesday, July 5th, 73 degrees. Got 88 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio. Streaming live on the Radio Pop app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160. Join the conversation. We are now joined by Michael Leviton. He is the Director of Donor Relations for the Central Jersey Blood
hello.
Center. What's going on over there? Are you
Too many devices.
You got your GPS over there? Where are we
That's
going?
right.
I'm like, who's the English girl that's talking in the middle of my?
Well,
is
that's
that a whole Brexit thing going on over there?
Well, I could discuss Brexit, but that's not what I'm here for.
Wow,
certainly.
that totally threw off my whole vibe there. Okay, so Michael, welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
So, my first question. So, Director of Donor Relations, right? So, what do you do specifically for the Blood Center?
Well, what I do is oversee the collections and definitely the recruitment of blood donors to our center, and also when the questions come in or any kind of issues, I handle those. But it's a great, it's a job, but it's really a labor of love. Dealing with our great donors and people giving of themselves, and really not getting anything in return, but the satisfaction of saving a life. So that's what I do.
Yeah, so only at the Blood Center would the term donor mean something different in the world of nonprofit. Because typically when we talk about donors, we talk about who's given loot. But you're not looking as much. I mean, listen, money's great, but you're really looking for donors.
Correct.
Right?
Money is great, certainly, but money doesn't find its way to our donors or into their bloodstream to save their lives, or it's blood can't really be made in a lab, or platelets or the different products, plasma. It has to come from donors donating of themselves, which is really the most precious gift, right? That gift of life.
Absolutely. And so you mentioned to me a little bit that this is kind of the slower season for where you really have a need. But then I assume the need is really kind of throughout the year, right?
Yeah, definitely. The need is constant. I mean, there aren't some exact numbers on number of people that donate. I mean, there's relative numbers, but what's accepted is less than 3% of people who are eligible can donate. And the eligibility goes back and forth because we don't poll every single person in New Jersey, but it hovers somewhere around 45% of people being eligible. So there's a constant need. If we even could get that from 3% to 4 or 5%, sure, there would never be any blood shortages. So especially this time as we hit 4th of July, which just happened, I know we're talking about, blood donation. People might head to the beach, but the donors in the local hospitals don't get to take that holiday, or those with cancer or leukemia. They're in the hospital and they still need those constant donations. And certainly, on the 4th of July and this weekend, it's been, a struggle for us. Right.
And when you think about, the mantra of our show is get up, get out, and do something, talk about one of the easier things to go do. It's just, to go and sit down and have a lollipop and give some blood, right?
Definitely. The whole process, we like to say allow an hour for the process. That includes the lollipop or the juice and cookies that we do have and the snacks. It also includes being screened, to make sure that you, fit the qualifications. And the actual blood donation can take only 5 to 7 minutes, the actual blood donation, or a little bit more. It depends on a whole different, variety of factors. But what's an hour to save someone's life? I think that's a good way to give back.
Absolutely. And how often can you actually give?
Well, a blood donation you can give every 56 days. 56 days. That's the time that it takes the cells to regenerate within your body. Different procedures, platelets and plasma you can give more often. But, whole blood, as we call it, your traditional blood donation every 56 days. So roughly 2 months.
Wow. So I had no idea, because I thought that, I think for most people, they think if they give once a year, they're doing, which is great, right? I mean, if everybody gave once a year, you'd be okay, right?
Definitely. If everybody, certainly. But we always try to ask our donors if they could give twice a year. Again, that's another way. If everybody who gave once a year gave twice a year, we would, reach that threshold where we would never have any shortage.
Right. Now, Michael, tell me this. I have to know. So
Okay.
when you were just a wee lad, right? Were you thinking, gosh, one day? I mean, were you like, out of one day I want to work at a blood center? Were you like a huge like Dracula fan? I mean, what was it that really? Because I liked Blade very much. I was
Right.
like Blade, but I think he was like the anti. Anyway, so the question is like, how did you end up here?
Well, it's funny you asked. One, I do have relatives from Transylvania. Actually,
Really?
you see that?
Yeah. No,
Right?
Good.
Actually,
That's
my
good.
great grandfather was.
I can actually give you the number for Dr. Rotem if you want. He's
Okay,
well,
we'll see.
Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, so but aside, but that is true. Actually, I do have
Right.
relatives on my grandmother's side. But I always wanted to help people. My dad was a music teacher for over 45 years in Brooklyn, and he taught from kindergarten violin and music. So he was always helped out and volunteered, as did my mom. So I think the spirit of volunteerism and helping people, came to me from when I was very, very small. So, but I didn't necessarily find my way here. I've had a lot of personal experiences with blood and people that have needed blood transfusions. So, and as I think many of your listeners have, knowing someone that's been in a tough situation. So when, my resume was just out there and I got a call to come work for the blood center. At that time, I was living in Staten Island, and they're like, let's get some blood. So I started, 11 years ago, and it kind of called to me. And from the beginning, I had many things that happened just within the job, as I call it, that really let me know that this was for me.
Right. Very cool. And so you guys have a I'm looking around at your website, which is a pretty comprehensive website. Tell me about the rewards program. Like, what is that? Like, if I give blood, I can actually get stuff?
You can. It's kind of a loyalty. It's a loyalty program, kind of like frequent flyer miles.
Right.
So it's frequent donor points, and you can redeem these for different things. Gift cards. You can give the points back. You talk about fundraising, so you can give your points back also to the center, so that we could, raise money for new buses and different programs that we have. So the more you donate, the more you earn, and the more lives you save. So it's kind of just a little give back and a thank you. Because that's really what we're all about, giving back on so many different levels.
Cool. So when we get back, I want to talk about some of your partners, right? Because I know you partner with not only hospitals, which are the obvious ones, but also with schools, right? And
Yep,
with other organizations. And I think it's super interesting. So Michael Leviton, Central Jersey Blood Center, Director of Donor Relations. Back with Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin right after this.
Get more Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin at our website, WOBMAM.com. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
Welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. We are here. Michael Leviton. He is the Central Jersey Blood Center, Director of Donor Relations. And we were talking a little about partnerships, right? So you mentioned some partnerships with some of our local kind of attractions. So why don't we start there? You said that partnership with Great Adventure as an example.
Correct. So we have two routes to collect our blood products. One is through our centers, which we'll talk about in the next segment. But one are mobile blood drives, where we come out to your business or we come out to your partnership. And certainly looking for corporate partners. If you'd like to run a blood drive, I'm the guy to speak to. So we have buses and we have different mobile drives. So we do have a partnership with Great Adventure. We just ran a very successful blood drive right before the 4th of July. And we'll be running drives throughout the summer and at the beginning of Fright Fest. And in December, they had their holiday spectacular. So we had a great blood drive between Christmas and New Year's. Actually, it was right before Christmas, which is also a really tough time. So Great Adventure is a great partner. Lakewood Blue Claws. We just had a blood drive before Memorial Day. And certainly we have a blood drive coming up in the end of July.
Right.
So those are our two real great corporate sponsors. And we also partner with elementary schools and middle schools and high schools too.
So a blood drive with I was fixated on the blood drive at Fright Fest.
Yeah.
Because it's again, I just can't. I can't get past the whole vampire thing. I mean, that it's like a perfect, it all makes sense. It's all coming together now.
It's perfect. We've done several drives with zombies.
Really?
In Asbury.
And a zombie walk.
Yes, and we've done other zombie events, and the people love it. They dress up and they donate as a zombie.
That's cool.
So we kind of, gravitate towards this. Like I say, we like to be in the red.
Yes.
Not in the black.
Yes,
so
yes.
most people don't want to be in the red. So those kind of natural events to work with.
Well, and I think it also kind of makes makes it more accessible. Which is odd, but I mean, I know that the whole group that's into the that's kind of into that into
Walking
the
Dead
horror.
and the different things. They're great donors.
Yeah,
too.
they understand, and they're not. I mean, some of us get a little the heebie-jeebies when we start thinking about donating blood, and then there's others that are completely comfortable in their own.
They're certainly not squeamish or
not
fear.
so much. So, what does a school program look like? That's very cool.
So we have a program. Firstly, a good segment, 25, 30% or more probably, comes from the high schools. And we have great partnerships with our high schools. It's 16 years old to donate with parental consent, and 17 you can donate on your own in the state of New Jersey. So that's substantial, and we love our high school students. And we want to have them come into our blood center for a reunion this summer, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. But with the elementary schools, we have something called the 5 Points of Life, where we actually go in and do an educational program for the elementary school students. Obviously, they can't donate. They're a little bit young. But we actually can make some fake blood using Kool-Aid. And we do platelets are, gummy worms. And then if the teacher allows, they can take a sip of the fake blood at the end. And then they go home and they educate their parents on the importance. And then it usually culminates in a blood drive. So that's a great program. And again, if you any elementary school or middle school teachers out there, they can contact me, to run this program. But we've had several schools with success. Two schools over 100 units at an elementary/middle school. So, there's
from the parents.
From the parents, correct.
Very cool.
So I don't know if you have kids, but I have 2 young kids. If my son, Daniel, he's 7, comes home and says, "Daddy, do you want to save a life?" That's powerful.
Right. That's I see. So you're leveraging the children to get but which is okay. Normally
teach the children. Didn't someone say that?
Normally, I would say that's wrong. But you're doing it for a good cause.
Correct,
So
and it's about education too. I mean, again, we don't say go home, and get your parents to donate or else. So it's about creating the future donors. When they become 16, also.
Sure.
So it's a dual.
I often say
success.
I believe the children are our future. I teach them well and let them lead the way.
Boy, that's original, though. I've never heard that before.
I just came up with that. We are with Michael Leviton. He is from the Central Jersey Blood Center, Director of Donor Relations. When we come back, we are going to hand him his magic wand, his pixie dust, his fairy dust, his ability to make a difference in the world. And then we're going to find out where everybody can go so they can donate blood, because I feel like today's going to be a big day. Get up. Get out and do something, you know what I mean? Wake up with Jeremy Grunin, listen to Kevin Williams and the news, and we're back after this.
The news never stops at WOBMAM.com. Get the latest from WOBM News, the Town Square, New Jersey News Network, and Fox News Radio. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin, News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Live from the Bob Levy Broadcast Center, overlooking the Toms River, it's time to get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Be a part of the show, 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin, 7:34, Tuesday, July 5th. 73 degrees, get up to 88 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio, streaming live on the Radio Pop app at WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160. Join the conversation. We are joined now by Michael Leviton, Central Jersey Blood Center. Central Jersey Blood Center. Director of Donor Relations. That was better, right, Zach?
Yeah, that was good.
That was that was my last Tuesday effort, so I felt like I had to come strong that time.
There you go.
So, Michael, I'm so amped up now to go and donate blood. I need to know where I can go do this.
Well, we have several options for you. We have 3 centers. We have one located right near where we are right now at 1256 Indian Head Road, which is in the Indian Head Plaza, sharing space with the Home Depot in the same plaza. We also have a donor center in Howell, so that's 4068 Route 9. And then we have our main location, which is 494 Sycamore Avenue, which is in Shrewsbury. So those 3 convenient locations. And we also have mobile drives all over New Jersey. So if you head to our website, which is cjbcblood.org, you could find all the locations this summer, today, where you can go out and save a life.
Right. And you can actually you could schedule an appointment, right? Which makes it easier, makes it a little quicker for you.
Right. We encourage people to schedule appointments because you schedule a 10 o'clock appointment. We take you right there. You can budget your time. A lot of people are, obviously we're all busy.
Sure.
But if you're going to give of your time, scheduling an appointment will just get you through the process a little faster. We do take walk-ins, but appointments are definitely strongly preferred.
Gotcha. Michael, it's that time. We're going to give you the magic wand, the magic pixie dust, the fairy dust, the ability just to wiggle your nose and make something happen, make an impact, change the world. Michael, Central Jersey Blood Center, Director of Donor Relations. Michael, what are you doing with the magic wand?
Well, I would love to certainly take the magic wand and be able to, cure all the illnesses that we have. But in lieu of that, which we don't have that wand quite yet, I'd love to take the magic wand and have people today, people throughout July and August, people throughout the year, just get that inspiration to come to the blood center or, to come out to one of our mobile drives. Just wave that wand so that people wake up in the morning and say, today, this is a good day to save a life.
Right.
So
right. That's good. I think that the real breakthrough will come, right? I'm suggesting this now. You're going to have to work on this a little bit.
Okay.
I think the real breakthrough will come when we all have the ability to upload our blood, right, to the blood directly to the blood center through one of the 3 devices maybe that you would have in front of you.
I'm working on an app for that. There's going to be an app for that.
There should be an app for
that.
There
should be an app. I'm in process. I'll have to do a little fundraising, crowdsourcing.
Well, in all seriousness, though, with the advent of telemed and things like that, I imagine one day you'll be able to upload your blood. There's no doubt about that in my mind.
Well, technology, soon there might be chips and different things going on, so who knows?
But until we have that, Michael, where could we learn more about the Central Jersey Blood Center? Where would we go to have some knowledge dropped upon us?
Well, definitely, as I mentioned, cjbcblood.org. Also, if you're feeling inspirational and you want to donate, you can text the word INSPIRE to 444-999, and one of our lovely representatives will get back to you and can schedule an appointment and answer some questions. And also, you can call into the center, 888-71-BLOOD, or for those local folks, 732-842-5750.
You said you could text 444-999?
Text INSPIRE.
INSPIRE.
To 444-999, and magically, one of our representatives will get back to you and can schedule your appointment, answer your questions. It's almost magical in that way.
That's crazy.
And have a conversation with you.
That's crazy.
Because text is the preferred mode for many people nowadays, method of communication. I mean, we still email and we still, do phone calls, but we find that simple text, people like to get that, and it kind of reminds them, it's been 56 days. Let me get out there and save a life.
One more question for you. If I have an office, and let's say I have 25 employees, and I want to have you guys bring the mobile blood bank out, can we schedule that?
You can. You can call me. I'll give my cell phone number. I don't mind calls. You can call me at 732-677-9701. That's the bat phone, as I call it. That's my direct line. So, and again, it doesn't matter how many employees you actually have. We have some drives that have 60 employees, but half of them donate.
Right.
So, we run blood drives with offices from 50 or 60 up to 3,000.
Yeah.
So we definitely are looking for groups to step up. It's a great team building effort.
Absolutely. That's
for the employees. We have at our high schools, we have high schools where the principal donates next to the custodial staff. We have businesses where IT is donating next to facilities, is donating next to CEO. So call me, 732-677-9701, and we can set that up for you.
Right. That's a great point. And, I know so many businesses, so many folks are looking for these bonding opportunities for their teams to do something for the community. And it can be hard and challenging to find what that right opportunity is. But here's one, frankly, that'll come to you, right? You could do the right thing for our community. You could do the right thing because there's always a need. It can happen in the comfort of your own offices and at your own business. And, of course, you just want to make sure. I know I'm fixated on this, but you do still bring juice and cookies and stuff,
Yeah, we
right?
still bring juice and cookies.
Yes.
And
all right.
the only thing that you have to supply is yourself and your blood.
Right.
We will supply everything else, the juice, the cookies, the equipment, obviously.
There it is. There's the mantra. All you need to supply is your blood.
And I do want to say, I think it's important that, people talk about success stories, that aha moment that I have. But every donation we collect is a success story.
That's great.
There is no donation that goes, does not get to a patient, really. It's going there because we're always in constant need. And over the years, I've seen so many, whether it's, a young child with leukemia or people in, car accidents or, people burned.
Right.
Everyone knows someone in your listening audience that's been through a tough time, and that is really the reason to donate.
Absolutely. Michael Leviton, Central Jersey Blood Center, Director of Donor Relations, thank you so much for your time this morning, and I have no doubt that you will see an incredible surge in blood donations as a result.
Including yours.
Absolutely. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, back after this.